We are on the precipice of finality. With only 2 semi-final rounds standing between us and the finals, excitement and anxieties could not be higher. The top 2 drivers from each of the semi-final rounds will advance on to the final stage of the competition. The biggest names from the qualifying rounds and the quarterfinals now hoping to be the biggest names in the game. Let's go reintroduce ourselves to the drivers of Group 1 of the semi-finals for the 2022 Skyway Grand Prix. Let's welcome JONAS FANG driving in Silver Bullet, a Porsche 550 Spider weighing 40.5 grams. Artemis Sky driving in Neon Demon, a Ferrari 348 weighing 35.8 grams. YOSHI SATORI driving in Razor's Edge, an Audi RS6 Avant weighing 51.2 grams. And Cannonball Claire driving in the Cannonball. It's a BMW M1 weighing 50.1 grams. There they are, a pure breed of European speed driven by some of the finest drivers the Skyway has ever known. Let's join them up at the start gate for race 1. YOSHI SATORI rides in pole position, Artemis Sky by his side. JONAS FANG and Cannonball Claire in the rear. And they're off. YOSHI SATORI and Artemis Sky lead a tight group into turn 1. They stay close. SATORI holds the lead out of turn 2. They ride single file. SATORI blocks Sky out of turn 3. Down the last straight, SATORI, Sky, Cannonball Claire right at the finish. Artemis Sky stays close to SATORI all the way down, which is nothing short of impressive. It's out of turn 2 that Sky jumps to pass SATORI, and already the leap has proven to be off target. SATORI cuts the wheel to the inside, blocking the pass, and he slaps his tail, thrusting Sky into the wall, throwing her off balance, giving him the space to take to the finish line. Speaking of, Cannonball Claire in reverse, emerging from the back row, pulls ahead of JONAS FANG right at the finish. If race 1 is any indication, the semi-finals are already proving to be full of speed and surprises. YOSHI SATORI rises to number 1 on the leaderboard. Artemis Sky not far off in second position with 3 points. Cannonball Claire pulled out all the stops to secure third position, stealing it from JONAS FANG, now sitting in last position with just 1 point. But now, starting in pole position, JONAS FANG can finally show off his speed in that gorgeous Porsche 550 Spider. And Artemis Sky has her work cut out for her if she wants to secure her spot at the top. JONAS FANG blitzes out of the 90-degree turn. SATORI and Claire side by side, running up on FANG, closing the gap. SATORI blocks out of turn 2. FANG loses control, now in reverse, out of turn 4. SATORI closes the gap, and JONAS FANG just barely holds on to first position, followed by SATORI, Claire, and Sky. Right out of turn 2, SATORI throws a slicing block at Cannonball Claire. It was time for SATORI to engage in strategy. Now the block holds up the whole of the group, and FANG's exit of turn 3, he loses control, and our camera loses him, spinning away his momentum, creeping through turn 4, and SATORI emerges ready to challenge FANG all the way across the finish. YOSHI SATORI still hangs on to first position. JONAS FANG really needed that win. He rises to second position from last, with Cannonball Claire and Artemis Sky now tied in third position. Cannonball Claire now finally starts a race in the front row, pole position no less. Maybe she can shift the narrative of the leaderboard once again. And with SATORI now in the rear, she may have a chance. Cannonball Claire wastes no time barreling down the first straight. The drop sends her flying. She's all alone. She's a bit shaky into turn 3. SATORI passing on the inside. A tight group bumper to bumper across the finish. Wow! Cannonball Claire, YOSHI SATORI and JONAS FANG in that order, but I do not see Artemis Sky. Oh no, Sky was not able to finish the race. Let's go all the way back to turn 2. These are the last moments that we see Sky present in race 3. As they head into turn 2, it looks as though JONAS FANG presses up to enter the turn on the high outside, and in doing so drives Artemis Sky right off the edge of the track. Now, going into turn 2, we see SATORI raging out of third position, striving to pass FANG on the inside. Now, his next target is Cannonball Claire, who is able to hold the group at bay all the way across the finish. Cannonball Claire needed that win. This raises her to second position on the leaderboard. Now SATORI still sits in first, JONAS FANG not far off with 8 points. Now unfortunately Artemis Sky is unable to advance on, but JONAS FANG and Cannonball Claire have one more chance to secure their spot in the finals. Artemis Sky starting her final race of the tournament in pole position. Cannonball Claire in front once again, and JONAS FANG starting on the outside rear position. He'll need to fight to break through to the other side if he wants to advance on. Sky seizes the opportunity. Claire closes in on SATORI, down the drop. SATORI blocks mid-turn. Sky's lead grows. SATORI's fast approaching. Sky is wild into turn 4, but she's able to keep it together and she takes race 4, followed by SATORI and Claire, and a defeated JONAS FANG nearly cruising across the finish. Artemis Sky was not going to go quietly into the night. She had one more chance to leave the indelible memory of her legacy, and it was one of speed and style. Now it's right here that SATORI ends up passing Claire mid-turn 2. This allows Sky to fly. Now out of turn 3, Sky hits the inner wall, which ignites a chain of wild maneuvers. Look here, she's barely hanging on to equilibrium on 2 wheels. She manages to regain control and finish what she started. Wow, Cannonball Claire was able to pull ahead of JONAS FANG and will join YOSHI SATORI in the final stage of the competition. Congratulations! Here we go, our first 2 finalists of the 2022 Skyway Grand Prix. They enjoy a sense of relief and a swelling pride as they stare down the finish line, which is now firmly within their grasp. Now today we'll be doing things a bit differently. Today we will witness both groups of the semi-finals all at once. Now without any further ado, let's meet our second group of the semi-finals for the 2022 Skyway Grand Prix. Welcome Juniper Jolt driving in Bloodbath, a Corvette C7R weighing 30 grams even. Welcome LYNDON Bird driving in Nick of Time, a Porsche 911 Turbo weighing 36.3 grams. Ocean Sparks driving in Pure Gold, a Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren weighing 40.9 grams. And Juan Carlos Muerte driving in Red Rover, a Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG weighing 51.2 grams. And there they are. It's almost frightening to entertain the fact that only 2 of these drivers will be able to advance on. Saying farewell to any one of them will be devastating. Juniper Jolt starts race 1 in pole position with Juan Carlos Muerte by her side. LYNDON Bird and Ocean Sparks ready in the rear. Juniper jolts out of the 90-degree turn. Muerte sprints down the drop, passing on the inside. He's done it again, whipping out of turn 3. Jolt closes the gap, but Muerte takes race 1, followed close by Jolt and a full straightaway ahead of Bird and Sparks. Jolt and Muerte prove an even match until Muerte arrives at the drop. Now, historically, this is where Muerte thrusts ahead of the group, beginning his reign of fire tearing down the Skyway. The lovely and peculiar fact is that Jolt isn't that far off, in second position no doubt, but I've not seen someone keep up with Muerte like that yet in this competition. Bird and Sparks almost hobbling across the finish, which again are words I never thought I'd say about 2 such stellar drivers. Juan Carlos Muerte once again in first position, Juniper Jolt able to keep up, finishing in second place, LYNDON Bird in reverse for 2 points, and Ocean Sparks in last place with only 1 point. What is happening? Bird now in pole position, Jolt with another chance to get out in front, and with Muerte behind her, maybe she can hold him off. And they're off. Jolt and Bird ride side by side to dance they know well. Jolt passing on the inside into turn 2, pulls ahead. Bird close, passing on the inside. Jolt holds him off, drifts into turn 4, raging across the finish, followed by Bird and a backwards Muerte. Wow, let's see all that again. Here we have a clean example of the perfect rivalry that is Bird and Jolt. Jolt passes Bird on the inside going into turn 2, and right away upon exiting turn 2, Bird says, okay, now it's my turn, and he leaps to pass Jolt into turn 3, but Jolt is able to stay out in front, blocking Bird out of turn 3. Now watch this absolutely savage defensive maneuver. Juniper Jolt slams Bird's front end into the wall, very similar to what YOSHI SATORI did to Artemis Sky in Group 1. And with a whipping of her back end, she's able to stay out in front. Now this pops her up in the air, sending her drifting, more like skating, through turn 4. Bird is unable to recover, staying in second position, leaving Jolt to take the win. And there's Ocean Sparks, poor guy, finishing last in race 1 and doesn't finish at all in race 2. That is going to severely cut his chances at advancing on, if not obliterating them altogether. Juniper Jolt jumps to first position, Juan Carlos Muerte close behind. LYNDON Bird staying steady, still very much in the game, whereas Ocean Sparks will need a miracle and a tragedy. But now starting in pole position, perhaps he can get started on that miracle and remind us all of just why he is one of the best. Muerte and Jolt ready to breathe down the necks of those in front. And they're off. Sparks takes off down the first straight. Oh no, Muerte's flown off the track. Oh my god, Ocean Sparks is way out in front. Ocean Sparks looking like his old self, whipping out of turn 4. Sparks takes race 1, followed by LYNDON Bird and Juniper Jolt hobbling across the finish. I am substantially shocked by what just went down. Muerte accelerates into turn 2, ready to pounce at Sparks the moment they hit open lane track. Now mid-turn, Muerte's back end slips up onto the inner wall, but his speed is too great to recover, sending him flying off the edge in absolute tragedy. Now this leaves Sparks with a wide open road and finally some room to spread his wings and tear down this track to the finish. What has happened to the leaderboard? Juniper Jolt still manages to hold on to first position, and LYNDON Bird was able to rise up to second. From the looks of this leaderboard, everyone still has a chance to advance. Some are slimmer than others, but a chance nonetheless. And that's all any one of these Speed Demon superstars needs to rise above. Now with Muerte in pole position, he's going to need every advantage to get out of third position. Ocean Sparks by his side, needing a first place win if there's any chance at the finals. Muerte fires down the first straight, my god, whipping into the drop, and he's out of here! A rageful descent, this must be his fastest run yet. Juan Carlos Muerte has forged his seat in the finals with a fiery finish in race 4. And Juniper Jolt will be joining Juan Carlos Muerte in the finals. I'm both baffled and unmoved by these results. However, Ocean Sparks and LYNDON Bird, I have to say thank you on behalf of all of us for lighting up the Skyway the way you did. Your racing won't soon be forgotten. Join us now as we congratulate the victors of the semi-finals and our top 4 drivers advancing on to the final round of the 2022 Skyway Grand Prix. It's been a long time coming, and the moment has finally arrived. Until next time, drive safely and always take the high road.